Welcome to another exciting edition of Rampage Pro Wrestling. So excited to be here on a weekend when we're coming back to Johnny G's Fun Center on Sunday, September 18th. Bill Ehrens, this matchup should be an outstanding match, starting out the program with a title match, one that we've been looking forward to.
Well, last couple of weeks, it's been matches from the third anniversary show at Rampage Pro Wrestling. Last week, we saw the usual suspects retain the titles against a game team of the 704, and we saw Bull Buchanan retain that title against Rob Adonis, the Rampage Pro Wrestling heavyweight title, and now it's the television title. The face of television, Jeremy Vane, brought to ringside by Doug Sommers, the legendary performer Doug Sommers, father of Frankie Valentine. But there's a special stipulation on this one, Ben. This time, there isn't going to be a 10-minute time limit. There isn't going to be a 15-minute time limit. There's going to be no time limit.
And that's something that has been a detriment to Frankie Valentine in trying to get this title match. We talked about the TV title and the history of the National Wrestling Alliance. A former World TV champion for the NWA, Thunderbolt Patterson, was here recently at one of our events.
Thunderbolt Patterson and fans, there will be footage of Thunderbolt Patterson's appearance on episodes of Rampage Pro Wrestling and Rewind, so you're going to want to check that. We always honor the legends of the National Wrestling Alliance as we present the future of professional wrestling here at Rampage Pro Wrestling, and we're looking at one of those gentlemen right now as Frankie Valentine comes to the ring.
And Valentine, remember, the story here is the son of Doug Sommers. Let's go to the ring.
RPW TV title with no time limit, and there must be a winner. Introducing first, he is from Carrollton, Georgia, weighing in at 171 pounds, Frankie Valentine. And his opponent, he is from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, weighing in at 200 pounds. He is accompanied to the ring by pretty boy Doug Sommers, the untouchable Jeremy Vane.
And Doug Sommers is the foster dad of Frankie Valentine since his early teenage years. And to be in a position like this against your father, it can't be easy, but it's something Frankie Valentine has come to grips with. And it hasn't taken away the fact that he wants that title in a bad way. I think he wants it worse now than before Doug Sommers was in the picture.
And he hands it for protection to Doug Sommers, who's over in his corner. Jeremy Vane was a strong competitor, a dangerous competitor before he ever got introduced to Doug Sommers, but ever since Doug Sommers came around, Jeremy Vane has been unbeatable in the professional wrestling ring. In fact, I'm trying to remember how far back it was, but it was a long time ago that Jeremy Vane became television champion, defeating, I believe, J-Rod for that title. And he has been successfully defending it ever since through numerous competitors, but most recently, it's been Frankie Valentine. And no matter how close Frankie Valentine has gotten, either the time has run out, Jeremy Vane has been disqualified, or something has happened involving Doug Sommers.
I want to give credit, though, to Jeremy Vane, although he is not very well loved here at Rampage Pro Wrestling. That VDT that he possesses can come from anywhere, and certainly is a dangerous move that Frankie Valentine needs to watch out for.
Very much so. I don't believe yet anyone who's been hit with the VDT has been able to kick out of that particular maneuver once Jeremy Vane goes for a pin. So it has been very dangerous and so far very successful for him.
And you usually don't see it coming. Locked up collar and elbow, and a side headlock by the champion, Jeremy Vane, the untouchable one.
Well, one of the reasons that move was popularized probably mostly by Jake the Snake Roberts years ago, although quite a few competitors have utilized the move. But the key to it was its suddenness and the ability of it to come out of nowhere and from any position. Some of the greatest maneuvers in professional wrestling, what are called finish maneuvers, usually in professional wrestling, are those that can take the least setup and can come out of nowhere, and it makes you double dangerous in the professional wrestling ring.
And now a couple of slaps to the face, and certainly waking up Jeremy Vane. When you slap a man like Frankie Valentine in the face, you need to expect some retaliation. This youngster is not the tallest wrestler in the ring, but certainly one of the fastest and one of the ones with the biggest heart.
Well, he is the kind of competitor that Gordon Soley used to say would take on a buzzsaw and give it the first couple of rounds.
Good tackle there by the champion Vane. Now up and over his man. Leapfrog by Valentine. Hip lock takedown. Set and ready for his man. Charging in with a flying head scissors. Takes him down. And Valentine demonstrating why he is a top contender for any title. and specifically right now, the NWA RPW TV title again.
Third time, but this time Vane, aware of where he is, drops him over, but I thought he dropped him to, I think he thinks he dropped him to the outside. No, cut off to the gut. And now outside in goes Valentine, and he's got him ready to be pinned. Almost over right here.
Sunset flip into a pinfall, not enough. And now it's Vane in that corner. And of course, Valentine has to watch not only his opponent, but his father at ringside. Pretty boy Doug Sommers, don't turn your back on that man.
Well, and you see Doug Sommers not staying in any one stable position. He's moved from corner to corner a couple of times. You know he's doing that deliberately. He's trying to get inside the head of Frankie Valentine. Valentine not only focus on the man in the ring, Jeremy Vane, the champion, but if he's also focusing on Doug Sommers on the outside, eventually that's going to lean to the advantage of Jeremy Vane.
Certainly so, and there you see some advisement going on there. And no one would know Frankie Valentine better than his own father. Would you agree?
Well, and all the experience Doug Sommers, it's a shame that Doug Sommers decided not to utilize the experience he has with a greater percentage of our locker room here at Rampage Pro Wrestling. Rather, that experience seems to be focused now to Jeremy Vane after what, well, at least what he couched as disappointment that was shown in terms of, I guess, the development of Frankie Valentine. I'm not sure where that disappointment actually came from.
I still haven't seen that myself, and now locked up again, full arm twist. And now working the arm, Frankie Valentine again twisting. Snaps him over by the head, driving the knee right into the arm and maintains the arm bar. Standing wrist lock and now full arm twist again. Working on that arm, wrenching pain now across the face of the untouchable Jeremy Vane. Remember, no time limit. If this TV time runs out, we're going to keep taping.
Very much so. We do have other matches scheduled for this hour of television that will be ready to go, including a heck of a main event I hope we can get to. If not, I guess we're going to have to bump it to another hour. 6-man tag action with the Jimmy Rave approved team taking on Kyle Matthews, J-Rod, and Adrian Hawkins, the returning Adrian Hawkins.
You know, it wasn't long ago that Adrian Hawkins was one of the targets of Jimmy Rave for the Jimmy Rave approved group, and he turned him down. Arm drag takedown, great spin on the arm, and maintains an arm bar and locking that arm and that shoulder, and again applying the pressure. Great to see Adrian Hawkins back in action. Dropping a knee now again to the arm. And Vane certainly not enjoying this predicament he's finding himself in.
Understand that if fans are able to come to the show on the 18th, they'll have an opportunity to buy a couple new DVDs.
Absolutely. Memorial Mayhem and Sizzling Summer Bash available for the first time ever right here at the arena. Of course, you can order them on www.rampageprowrestling.net. But get your hands on them live right here for the first time on Sunday, September 18th. Also the weekend of Miss Allie's birthday, so come out and celebrate with her. She's my new co-host, by the way, on Rampage Rewind.
She's a busy lady, isn't she?
She is. She certainly adds a lot of color to the scenery, that's for sure.
Also, new T-shirts are on sale, both for Hot Like Lava, also for the Usual Suspects. I know I've seen those, and fans can show their support of either of these teams and the other Rampage stars with these T-shirts that are on sale now. A lot of new product coming out from Rampage Pro Wrestling. We'll keep you updated on that as best we can here on television, but also you can go to rampageprowrestling.net or the Facebook page.
Exactly right, and there are a couple of close calls there. Continues to pummel now Frankie Valentine. Valentine's in dire straits. You see he's again being taunted by this incensed champion Jeremy Vane. Drops an elbow. Can't take a lot away from Jeremy Vane, an outstanding competitor. Don't like his tactics all the time, but he's certainly underneath all of that is a great wrestler. And right now, continuing the assault on Valentine, a boot to the lower back. And you see the excruciating pain etched across the face and body. And now holding him by the trunks and delivering a hard blow to the back. And Frankie is in a bad way right now.
Well, not just to the back, right to the spine area where it sends a jolt all the way up through the back and up into the head. Almost causes a form of paralysis for a brief moment. You don't feel like you can move when that kind of thing happens, and you can see that that's the effect it's having on Valentine, who right now is simply trying to find a little bit of space between him and Vane. But Vane, the experienced veteran that he is, staying on the man, and he grabs over him, brings him up, knocks him back with a blow to the face.
Now off the rope, shoots him off. Ducks the clothesline, ducks an elbow. Catapults himself off that middle rope. Cross-body block, could have the new champion, not enough. Almost at that title.
Well, Valentine used every bit of energy he had for that one springboard move, but then kick to the face takes him right back down, and looks like Vane may have him here, but no. Valentine able to kick out in this no time limit TV title match.
Remember, a lot at stake here. How hard and how long has Frankie Valentine fought for this title? Fought to get his hand in the air against his father's protege, Jeremy Vane. And now gut wrench around him, now holding him in a reverse bear hug move and sitting down on him, applying that pressure from behind. And you see it's Frankie Valentine trying to figure an escape, trying to get out of this awkward maneuver.
And he manages to get a hold of the ropes, breaking the hold Vane, but then forces that shoulder twice now into the exposed back of Frankie Valentine, grabs him and brings him down hard on that knee.
Now covers him, lateral press, hooks him all the way over, and not enough. Valentine not going to lay down, not going to give up that easily. He came too far to stop fighting now. And now an exchange of blows between Valentine.
Fighting back. Frankie Valentine, what tremendous fighting heart this man has. No matter the punishment he takes, he continues to battle back, and that has been, to his credit, what we've learned to accept from him here at Rampage Pro Wrestling. And still on one foot, he's fighting back.
You know he has to fight if he's going to stay in this match. On foot reversal by Vane, and caught him with that elbow really hard. Crashing hard to the canvas. Now covers him, lateral press. Hooks the leg. Again, close call, not enough. Valentine is still in it to win it.
You know, no matter what match Frankie Valentine goes into, he is usually at a size and weight disadvantage. So this is nothing new to him as he goes into this match with Jeremy Vane, and it's because this is part of what he goes through in his battles in the professional wrestling theater every single time he gets into the ring. He's learned that he has to fight back from adversity, that he has to fight back against the bigger man, and it has never held him down, and it's not holding him back here.
Abdominal stretch now applied, and Valentine has stepped out of it just a little bit to where it's not as bad as it could be, but still excruciating pain. And now he falls back in with that elbow right into the side, right in the kidney there, pounding away now those fists and dropping elbows, adding to the pressure already obvious in this match.
On the abdominal stretch, not a maneuver used as much in modern wrestling as it was back in the day. This control maneuver, very popular in the early days of professional wrestling and very damaging. It pulls the body in several different directions. Very difficult to get out. In fact, has its foundations in an amateur wrestling move called the guillotine.
And escape by Valentine, throws him off, but you see that small advantage giving on him. Holding that rope for leverage just to stand up. Coming off slowly now and cut off in the midsection again. Right back into that abdominal stretch, and Valentine in a bad way.
And the reason the abdominal stretch of the guillotine is so effective is that you have that full lock. In fact, the guillotine, when down on the mat, is utilized usually as a pinning situation in amateur wrestling.
And now you see it as Valentine grabbing a handful of hair, desperation move here by him. And that just tells you it's very hard to get out of this move, and the longer you're in it, the weaker you get.
Very much so. It's just doing considerable damage, bending the body in directions it's not supposed to go. Tremendous pain. People have submitted from this particular maneuver.
And you notice how he's unstable and trying to hold it.
Ideally, he needs to try to get to a higher vertical brace. Ideally, breaking that one flake. Well, that did it right there. A couple of punches to the face is another way of doing it, I guess.
Whatever it takes, and that's what Frankie Valentine is doing now. Slowly now, getting back up to his feet right there where his father is to watch that. Going the outside interference, and now comes up. And inverted atomic drop there on the midsection.
Well, that tilt-a-whirl right there, I didn't know where he was going with it, but then devastating blow to the stomach of Frankie Valentine, further knocking the air out of him, further doing damage to the area the abdominal stretch was working.
And that admin certainly taking a lot of punishment in this match. Valentine now relying on the fan support. This is where that fan support is so important to get that adrenaline going once again, firing back now with everything he has. Frankie Valentine chopping away and now pounding away. He's in that corner now.
He's forcing him back, and he's on the top. 2 already, up to 3. Crowd joining in. 4. But Vane able to last that, brings him down. Atomic drop.
And now both men are down. Valentine's down. Jeremy Vane is down. And Vane probably a little bit better for wear than Valentine. Able to get the cover here, hooks the leg, and a 2 count.
That atomic drop sends a shockwave straight up through the spine, hitting on the coccyx bone as it does. Considerable damage, and you can tell Frankie Valentine suffering. He had some energy going. That took all the wind out of his sails.
Hard blow there by Jeremy Vane, and Valentine goes down. Again, right hand by Jeremy. And Valentine not going away, coming right back in for more. At that time, a right hand by Valentine, another discus punch.
Valentine never stops fighting. I've not watched a match yet where I've seen him just give up, to stop fighting, to lay down for anybody. No matter how hurt he is, no matter how beaten, no matter how tired, he just keeps coming.
Caught him with that Russian leg sweep, not enough, and that time a jawbuster takes him down.
But it took a little bit out of Jeremy Vane also, top of the head, taking the brunt of that impact. That's the soft part of the head, and you can see Vane suffering, a little dizzy on his own maneuver, but it did more damage to Valentine, who's down.
The game of human chess, and certainly sacrifices are made along the way. Hard chop again by Vane. This match is taking its toll on both men.
Short punch right there, but those are the ones that seem to hurt the most. Throws him in, somehow able to flip over and catches him with a knee himself. Vane now down, as is Valentine. Both men down in the middle of the ring.
And the count by Stan Robinson, the referee, is on for both men to get up. Valentine needs to get himself back together. You see, pretty well Doug Sommers telling Jeremy Vane, get back in there, get back up.
And not a lot of patience by Doug Sommers, just slaps him on the side of his head, get back in there. It's not over yet.
Doug Sommers from the old
Well, that's
school.
going to help him get in there.
Bring him in the hard way. And now begging off to Frankie Valentine, who has that second win going. Good flop by Valentine, the connection. Hard right hand by Frankie Valentine. And now look at those punches being thrown.
Valentine, though, not the energy he had early in the match, but who can blame him after the punishment he's gone through? Misses 2 right there. Wild swings by Vane, rolls through, handful of tights, could have him, no!
Again, a close call, and Valentine is still moving slowly, but coming in. VDT, we saw it that time.
And that's it right there.
Earlier. No one has ever kicked out from that.
Well, and at this point, Vane, only damage here is that Vane's taking his time getting to him, rolls him over, though. He's got him hooked, doesn't get the leg, though. That's a mistake. Foot is on the ropes. I don't know how he managed to find that ring positioning.
And somehow Frankie Valentine found that rope, because you don't get up from the VDT, and he went down hard. What a stunning move.
Doug Sommers was heading over there. I'm sure he was going to knock that foot off, but Stan Robinson, good move by the referee, saw it as soon as it happened, called for the break. You can see Jeremy Vane now puzzled. What do you do to the man you've done everything to?
Pounding away now on top of him, standing over him.
Well, I guess that's what you do.
I think he's just really aggravated that he can't pin this man.
And who can blame him? In this particular case, Frankie Valentine is the proverbial little engine that could in this particular match, in every match.
And I think he can. And right now, Frankie Valentine moving very slowly, could be out of it. Slap to the face, now that could wake him up. Jeremy Vane needs to be careful with those maneuvers.
But Frankie Valentine, never say die kind of competitor that he is, still grabbing at Jeremy Vane, still trying to get to his feet, still trying to maintain a fight in this title match, this no time limit TV title match, a match he earned when Colt Cabana was able to defeat Jeremy Vane.
And Jeremy Vane has so much to lose here in that TV title, and the pride that's at stake with pretty well Doug Sommers at ringside certainly does not want to see Frankie Valentine win that title under his watch.
And look at Valentine managing to get back to his feet no matter what the abuse, no matter what the punishment. You have to know that he's operating on something beyond a second wind at this point. He's operating on pure reflex.
Frankie Valentine is a fighter through and through. And you see that renewed effort, kick to the midsection, cuts him off. Scoop slam by the untouchable Jeremy Vane. And now you see another what could be a high-risk maneuver for Vane.
Well, an element of desperation, I think also. Vane not really known for going up to the top rope, but he's tried everything else unsuccessfully, and it did backfire on him, and at least so far, Valentine able to get to his feet, and now Vane in a very precarious position on the top rope, compromised, and Frankie Valentine's going up. I don't know what he has planned here. Well, he plans to bite him in the forehead.
Turnabout is fair play, they say.
And now he hooks up, catches him. No! Vane able to hold on, and Valentine took every bit of that on the back of his neck.
And that could have certainly been a great move for him. And caught him with that missile drop kick right across the head.
He's got the leg. This could be it right here. There's no!
Whoa! Where did he come from with that? Somehow, Frankie Valentine got the shoulder up. I think he's doing an instinct alone now, and the fan support, and the fans realizing how important it is and how close he came to losing it all right there. I don't think Jeremy Vane can believe this.
Well, now you can tell he can't. He is the fresher man. He is at this point the stronger man in the match. But no matter what he's thrown at Frankie Valentine, no matter how much he's tried to think ahead in this, as you said, human game of chess, he's been behind. And again, he cuts himself off smartly, turns around. There's Valentine right back, catches him in the top of the head. Valentine operating on pure instinct at this point, barely knows where he is in the ring, but he won't stop fighting.
And I don't think he will stop fighting until he gets that. Oh, there's that kick. Savate kick by Jeremy Vane. And
but no, again.
Somehow, Frankie Valentine keeps getting up. I'm not even sure how smart it is at this point to get up.
Well, you could say that Jeremy Vane's hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, but if you bring him a sink, I have a feeling Frankie Valentine will kick out of that too.
We talked about fighting a buzzsaw. I think Frankie Valentine has found his buzzsaw.
But Valentine still fighting, manages to get back to his feet. Neck breaker being hooked here by Vane. But wait, a reversal by Valentine, and where is he finding this?
Into a backslide! He's got the champion's shoulders down!
Oh, only a 2 count.
So close! You're watching the very best in NWA Rampage Pro Wrestling action. Inside cradle!
Roll through there,
reverse.
Inside cradle again.
Valentine's got
He got him!
1, 2, 3! We get a new RPW TV champion! He rolled that cradle over!
He
and
got
now
it.
Pretty Boy Done Sommers has that belt!
And your new NWA RPW TV
And it
Title
belongs to
champion,
Frankie Valentine. Why is Doug Sommers holding the belt?
Frankie
He's got to give it to Frankie Valentine! His own son! He's going to present the title to the man he certainly was not. Oh! What is Pretty Boy Done Sommers doing? That's not how you give a man a belt.
Well, he just smashed him into the head. After that grueling match, we have a new champion, but we now have Doug Sommers hovered over that man. He's just hit him in the forehead, and Ben, I can't see. Fans are on their feet. I can't see what kind of condition Frankie Valentine is, but Jeremy Vane is up, and Valentine is still down and hovering over him. Jawing at him is Doug Sommers. Now he's hooked him.
Power driver into that steel belt. I can't believe it.
Well, he may have managed to win the title, but I'm not sure he's won the war here. And now they're holding him up again as he's busted open, Ben. First I've been able to see he's been busted open on the side of the head. And here comes Doc Gayton.
Dr. Johnny Gayton coming out with a chair, the GM for Rampage Pro Wrestling. Enough is enough. And the laceration now of the head, obvious on Frankie Valentine. What a great matchup it was, and Frankie Valentine won it fair and square right in the middle of the ring. Never has heart and determination meant more in a match than it did with Frankie Valentine right at that time, able to capture the NWA RPW TV title, the new champion. Certainly does not look like a champion laying there, but what a man he is. And you see Doc Gayton now guarding the ring with that chair, and Doug Sommers and Jeremy Vane making a hasty retreat.
Then while we get this cleaned up, I think it's probably time for us to take a break. Fans, new television champion Frankie Valentine, but a whole lot worse for wear.